Plus Tomac show originally aired on November 16, 2013 and features Imogen Slokowski discussing her best-selling book The Ineffectual Male. We hope you enjoy today's retro
It's really great to be here tonight to talk about my new best-selling book, which reveals what pathetic creeps men actually are. You see, male-dominant behavior towards women has not changed since the time of Neanderthals. Men were brutes then, and they act like brutes today. The earliest women were slaving over a fire cooking mammoth meat. You, little lady, are slaving the kitchen today with all the nice whiz-bang state-of-the-art appliances. But for all the many advances in technology, it took 500,000 years for women to even get the right to vote. Men have only grown more sophisticated in their methods of oppression and debasement of women over the many eons of the evolution of mankind. Men's minds back in the days of the cavemen were focused upon the same sex-driven petty issues that they are today. Little has changed, little lady slack.
Triple Flex Theaters. The most explosive urban crime action drama to blaze across the screen. With the sexiest black mama since Foxy Brown. Fasten your seatbelts, it's going to be a roller coaster ride of explosive action. You'll run Nita Draskell invades the big city.
Head and I love it. Dig this. Changes come to America.
Oh, nah, come on now, baby.
Almighty God. And you know this. And let it flow. Househead and I love it. Dig this. Changes come to America.
Oh, nah, come on now, baby.
Almighty God. And you know this. And let it flow.
Sun here at CRZY News, and we now take you live to the Senate hearings and to Flashy the Paper Doll and the Wooden Creature. Senator Devane is the chairman of this investigative committee hearing and is currently asking the question.
Talk shoes. Recorded live.
Dr. Getrick, you've been brought here, summoned to appear before this Senate committee inquiry, the Senate hearings into the Flashy the Paper Doll and the Wooden Creature. We brought you here, sir, because before these Senate hearings are over, we intend to get to the bottom of this and find out exactly who's behind this, exactly who funded your biotech lab that you're in charge of. And I'm going to expect you to be forthcoming. I'm going to expect you to be truthful and honest. And you can stonewall all you want, but we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find out who's behind the creation of Flashy the Paper Doll and what the heck has happened to her and this wooden creature. Do you understand me, Dr. Guthrie?
Well, all I can tell you is that the operation is classified. I am not at liberty to reveal who funded the creation of Flashy the Paper Doll and Wood Pulp Boy. In fact, I am under direct orders not to reveal the entities and agencies involved. So I am afraid I will either remain silent or plead the fifth if I have to do so. Senator DeVane.
Talk shoes. Recorded live.
I don't think you understand me, Dr. Gedrick. We can sit here all day long if we have to, but before this hearing ends, you're going to tell me the information that I need. Now, I understand these creatures knocked you out when they left and left you unconscious. I can't believe that hundreds, literally hundreds, of federal agents and Murgatroyd police have combed Murgatroyd, have combed the woods around Murgatroyd, have gone into Flattown, have gone into Sawmill City. There's no sign of these creatures. Do you expect me to believe that you're not hiding them out somewhere? Do you expect me seriously to think that these two creatures just disappeared off the face of the earth, Dr. Guthrie? Nighttime has fallen at the palatial castle of Count Pedestrian III, and his colleague arrived at Dr. Jacqueline Reed to deliver some very important information to the Count.
Good evening, Count Pedestrian. I suppose you have been watching all the television coverage of the Senate hearings over in the States, Count Pedestrian. You realize, of course, that at some point our dear Dr. Gitterick may crack. He may cave in and confess that you were the secret financial backer for the biotech lab and for the creation of Flashy the Paper Doll and Wood Pulp.
Nonsense, my dear Jacqueline. He will not cave in. He can be trusted. I assure you that Dr. Gitterick is extremely trustworthy. It will remain a secret. Otherwise, I would not have entrusted him to such an important venture. The creation of a new life form. Flashy the Paper Doll and Wood Pulp Boy. There is so much at stake. So much at stake. You've got to understand this, Dr. Reed Summer. You must understand that I trust in Dr. Gitterick implicit. I remain entrusted to him. I do not believe he will cave in to this evil Senator DeVane. But I do, of course, want to thank you for bringing it to my attention. And yes, I have been watching the television coverage, of course.
Hello, dear people. You are apparently an Indian tribe of some kind. Yes, you are absolutely correct. You should kneel down and worship me. I am a superior being to you humans. Yes, you may regard Flashy and I both as gods. You will do very well to do exactly that. You will do our bidding and you will obey our commands.
Woody,
you will serve
what
us.
you are doing is not right. You cannot make these humans your servants. We were not created to be their masters. You cannot make these Indians into our servants and slaves. It just is not right, Woody.
Flashy,
It just is
Flashy,
not right.
Flashy. How totally naive you are, my sweet little paper doll sweetheart. These humans you have such misguided compassion towards would easily destroy both of us. Did we not flee Murgatroyd City to escape them? Trust me, whoever these Indians are, they are willing to worship us as gods, and I intend to see to it that they do, my darling. To quote a phrase from our human creators, you need to get with the program, my sweet. We shall rule,
My dear
for we are
Woody,
superior.
Woody. We do not even know where we are or how we got here. We came through the undulating energy field and suddenly there's this Indian tribe here in the woods. They call themselves the Tuwakanani. That is all that we know. We must find out where we are. Yes, we must. We must.
Hey Mom. You remember that bookstore in Flat Town that we went to last week, Mom? You know, the one with the art painted on the side of the building? Well, anyway, please take me back there. I saw a drawing of Flashy the paper doll in a book there, a drawing that was done way back in the 1600s by that Indian tribe, the Tuwakanani. Please take me back there so I can find it. Please, Mom.
Now
Please,
Timmy,
Mom.
you silly little red-headed stepchild skateboarder. You have way too active of an imagination, my son. That and you are spending way too much time in Dead Center Park on that dadgum skateboard. You should spend more time cracking open your history book and less time skateboarding. There is no possible way that you have seen a drawing of Flashy the paper doll from the late 1600s done by the Tuwakanani Indians. To begin with, I teach high school history, as you know, my child, and by 1661 the nearby white settlers, those religious fanatics, had attacked and wiped out that entire tribe. In fact, history records that it was a virtual massacre where they slaughtered the men, women, and children. It is a dark stain on the history of Murgatroyd and Flat Town. A very sad day in the history of this area. But, yes, my son, if you insist, I will take you back to that bookstore. At least you are interested in reading a book for a change, instead of spending your life on that dadgum skateboard.
Good evening, this is Les Tomac, and tonight we bring you on our retro series, the retro show from originally aired on October 10th, 2015, less than 2 weeks after Apron Head had burned down the paper doll factory and killed the factory owner and himself. And on this episode we had Dr. Derrickson, whom you may recall was Apron Head's psychiatrist. So we're going to go straight to that show. It is once again the Visivata sad devil, to which the media have sunk in venerating and eulogizing an obviously deranged psychopath who is responsible not only for his own death, the death of the very company president who marketed Apron Head's paper doll, and the destruction of the very factory which produced the ghastly little thing. The entire catastrophe was one great self-destructive act which reveals how sick and abominable Apron Head really was. Certainly not a role model for healthy children. Which brings us to the dreadful invention which the media claims is at least indirectly responsible for all of this. The official version holds that Apron Head felt betrayed and sold out. when his androgynous little paper doll, Flashy, was sold to the Japanese. I say, so what? That's just supply-demand capitalism at its best. If the Japanese can build a better paper doll, then I say more power to them. Then, of course, there's my colleague, Dr. Getrick, who actually has created a living, breathing paper doll, Flashy the paper doll, and I'm sure you've been seeing the reports around town where she's been popping up, being chased by an insane clown. But let's look a bit deeper at the societal implications of Flashy, both the paper doll item that the children bought as well as this creature walking around. By marketing her to boys and girls alike, Apronhead destroyed traditional family values. The awful prospect of little boys playing with paper dolls leads one to realize that 20 years from now we'll end up with more of the effeminate cowards that Imogene Slakowski so aptly describes in her wonderful book, The Ineffectual Male. In the end, Apronhead's demise should not be venerated, it should be celebrated. And Les Tomac, I want to thank you for having me on your show tonight.
It is the year 1659 in ancient Murgatroyd. Somehow, I, Flashy the paper doll and Wood Pulp Boy my hero and companion, find ourselves taken back 350 years into the past. A past where a small group of religious fanatics have settled and created the village that will eventually be called Flat Town. We are guests of the Tuwaukanani Indian tribe, a primitive American Indian tribe who are not only showing us tremendous hospitality, but they also regard us as gods, as superior beings. And so I try desperately to fall asleep in this small teepee while Wood Pulp Boy has already fallen asleep.
We're coming for you, Flashy. We'll get 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 you,
Flashy, we hereby declare that thou art an instrument of the devil, a very creature and tool of Satan himself, and we condemn thee to be burned at the stake to destroy this evil work of the devil which thou art. Thou shalt be burned at daybreak by the divine will of God.
Welcome to Opinion Radio, where you can call in with your opinions. And we have a caller on line 1.
Yes, Uncle Frank again, y'all. Used to me calling in. I call in with my opinion a lot. Anyhow, you know they hadn't found Flashy Paper Doll, all that wooden thing for days now, and you know, that old senator on TV with them hearing said she couldn't have just dropped off the face of the earth. They think Dr. Getrick must be hiding her and that wooden thing out somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to tell y'all something that I ain't never told anybody else before, but I feel like going ahead and talking about this, especially now that they can't find her and they don't know where she is, and there ain't no telling where she's at. Anyhow, one of those days when we was out driving around, me and Aunt Susie, we got us a double over at the Drifties, you know, and we seen this time we seen that clown chasing her, and instead of a pair of scissors, he had a staple gun with him. And well, Flashy ran off into Dead Center Park, and she got her foot caught in one of them bushes, and it tore part of her foot, you know. And she was stuck there, and this clown was catching up with her. And Aunt Suki said, "Frank, you got to help her. You got to get out and help her." And I said, "No, we don't want to get involved." But she kept on, and I felt sorry for Flashy. Anyhow, I went ahead and I got out, and I happened to just have a roll of Scotch tape there in the car, and so I went over there, and I was able to get her foot tapes back together, you know, and what have you. And that clown was getting closer, and I thought, well, I sure don't want him to go after me with that staple gun. But anyhow, once I made sure Flashy's foot was taped back on, I let her take off, and I mean, she ran fast as you can get. And I seen the crowd coming. I got back in the truck, and me and Suki took off, and we left. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't a week later, and we was over there at Dead Center Park, and that clown hung himself on the statue. You know, I called him about that when that happened. Anyway, that's what I got to say tonight. This is Uncle Frank, and thank you.
The August 14th, 1969 episode of The Les Tomac Show, with special guests Vincent Vincini, the founder and owner of Vincini Cosmetics, and his young daughter Judy, the Nasabibs, with their tribute sung to the Apollo 11 moon landing astronauts, and the new young minister Dr. Hubert Slokowski, who recently founded the Divine Humanity Church in Murgatroyd City. Enjoy today's show, and remember to stay close to your telephone when Les Tomac does the exciting random phone call to a viewer, the segment where he will talk with one of our viewers at home, chosen at random, and your voice will actually air during the show. And here comes Les Tomac now, ladies and gentlemen.
She like to put a little bit of her Play-Doh into the jar of Vincini face cream. And sometime she like to put a little bit of sand, you know, off into the jar of Vincini face cream, you know. She always like to add something to the face cream.
Sweepstakes. Peel a label off the new Vincini Ultra Deluxe Triple Star Italian Salad Dressing and you could win a trip to see Sophia Loren in Rome, Italy. You will stop off near the island of Scorpios near Greece and have dinner with Jackie O and Aristotle Onassis. Then you will dine on pizza nearing the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Send your Vincini labels here, with your name and address filled out on them, to the Les Tomac Show at CRZY TV station, where every single day Les Tomac will spin the hopper and draw one lucky winning name from the hopper. Wood Pulp Boy have traveled back into time to Flat Town in the late 17th century, when it was inhabited by religious zealots. And while Flashy and Wood Pulp Boy are staying in the nearby woods with the Tuakanani Indian tribe, which regards them both as gods, in the village the religious zealots are hatching a plot against this neighboring tribe.
Our beloved minister, Father Johann Sebastian Slokowski, is going to address us today about a violent evil threat from the dreadful nearby savages in the woods. This is a serious and grave matter about which he shall inform
dearest
us.
Beloved faithful children. That evil pagan Indian tribe has conjured up two infernal demons from Hades itself. One of them is the likeness of a female, only she is made of some strange form of paper, no doubt the product of sorcery by these savages. She walks and talks like a real human being, but she is utter blasphemy against God's creation. Her very existence is a mockery against the divine image from which we humans are made. And they hath also wrought a violent, utterly wicked wooden demon of some foul kind, and it walketh and talketh like unto a human being. By God's grace and divine will, we must form a posse and declare war upon these savages and their infernal works of the devil. We must march against them and destroy these dreadful demonic creatures and wipe these savage Indians out as well before they conjure up more demons from hell to plague us all. It is the divine will of God that we put an end to their treachery and sorcery. Men, grab your muskets and torches and assemble a force this very eve, and we will march at the break of dawn against these agencies of Satan himself.
Hey dude. I just had my mom buy me this History of Murgatroyd and Flat Town over at the bookstore. Anyway, dude, check it out. There's this chapter where the religious nuts back then burned Flashy at the stake. And they marched against the Indians and killed every single man, woman, and child in that Indian tribe, just like Mom told me. You know, dude, Mom is a history teacher, dude, so she knows her stuff. Anyway, there's this plaque out there in the woods commemorating the slaughter of that poor Indian tribe. Grab your skateboard and come go out there with me to look at it, man. It's only like 2 miles down a trail in the woods between Murgatroyd and Flat Town. If we leave now and hurry, we can make it down there before dark.
Look at the moving energy field in the woods. What the hell is it? What are you doing, Timmy? No man, don't skate into it. Wait. Stop. Wow. Where did you go? It swallowed you up? You like disappeared into it. I told you not to go into it. Man, there's no way I am going into it. I am heading back home to Murgatroyd now. I will tell your mom what happened. She won't believe me, but it's all I can do, man. Sorry dude, sorry dude. Hope you are okay, man, wherever you went.
CRZY News Bulletin. This is a CRZY News Bulletin alert. Teenage skateboarder from Murgatroyd City, Timothy Lawrenson, has been officially declared missing. He was last seen by a friend and fellow skateboarder in the woods between Murgatroyd City and Flat Town some 3 days ago. In the wake of the apparent abduction of Dr. Hubert Slokowski, there is rampant speculation that this too could be the work of the Murgatroyd serial killer, but as yet no evidence has surfaced to support a connection to this disappearance. Repeat, Timothy Lawrenson, 16, of Murgatroyd City, is missing. If you have seen him anywhere, please report his whereabouts to the Murgatroyd authorities.
Whoa, what just happened? Everything looks familiar, but this looks different. Is that it? Oh my God, I went back in time. I gotta help these people. Excuse me. Oh my God, I don't know if you can understand me. Your tribe is about to be destroyed. They're going to come in and slaughter every one of y'all. Oh my God, where is Flashy? Do y'all know where Flashy is? Flashy! Hey, oh my God, you need to get out of here. These people are going to come in here, they're going to kill every one of y'all. The whole tribe, they're going to burn y'all all at the stake. Y'all need to get out of here now. Run!
The audio diary of Dr. Derrickson. My time travel experiments have been successful beyond my wildest dreams. On the monitors tonight, I just watched as history was changed and an alternate timeline was created. A young skateboarder named Timmy traveled back through time and warned the Tuacanani Indian tribe and Flashy and Woodpulp's boy about the coming nearby neighboring marauders, those religious fanatics who were going to massacre the Indians and burn Flashy at the stake and destroy the village. Timmy, in warning them, averted this disaster and changed all of history. Flashy and the Woodpulp boy led the Indians to safety, got them out of the area before the destroyers could come and slay them. A historical massacre was averted and time has been changed. An alternate timeline has been created in which Murgatroyd and all of us now exist. This raises all kinds of interesting questions, riddles, perhaps that will never be solved. This is the audio journal of Dr. Derrickson.
Good morning, students. Today we are studying how the Tuacanani Indian tribe was saved from destruction by Flashy the paper doll and Woodpulp boy, who led all of the entire tribe, men, women, and children, to safety when the neighboring religious fanatics of Flat Town came to attack and massacre them. To this day, Flashy the paper doll and Woodpulp boy are regarded as heroes for their valiant act of leading the Indian tribe to safety. There in the woods are statues of Flashy and of Woodpulp boy, and we will take a field trip next week to see the statue of Flashy the paper doll and Woodpulp boy. As all of you know, Flashy the paper doll and Woodpulp boy are from our own time but somehow traveled back to 1659. Your next assignment is to write an essay about where you think they may have gone after they left the year 1659. Because as you know they have not yet returned to the present time. Good luck with your essays, students.
Woody, stay close to me and hold my hand so we will remain together. Oh, we saved the Tuacanani Indian tribe and ourselves because Timmy came back through the energy time vortex and warned us, and now here we are going back through the energy time vortex again. Of course we had no choice, we have to try to get back to our own time. I have no idea where this will take us to, hopefully we will land in a better time period than that one was. Oh boy, look Woody, look.
CY News Report. Humility Sun here. The search for local missing skateboarder Timmy Lawrence's son continues, as we now move into the fourth day since he was last seen entering the woods between Murgatroyd and Flat Town. Dr. Hubert Slokowski also remains missing. Yet messages received by our own news commentator here at CRZY, Imogen Slokowski, vehemently deny that Dr. Slokowski was abducted by the Murgatroyd serial killer. The messages are from someone claiming to be the as yet unidentified, unapprehended serial killer. Imogen Slokowski is, of course, the daughter of missing minister Dr. Hubert Slokowski.
Well, Dr. Derrickson. It is an honor to have you here, seeing as how I've been funding your time travel experiments all these years, and apparently they are working. You'll understand, of course, that at this point in time, I have to take over the whole operation. You see, it's nice being a Count Pedestrian III, but I have much, much greater aspirations. And with your time travel device, I can indeed conquer and rule the world. I shall be a king and emperor of a new order over the planet Earth. They will no longer call me Count Pedestrian III. I will be Lord, Ruler, King, and Emperor of the entire Earth. Yes, Dr. Derrickson, thank you for your services. Because of your expertise, of course, I shall allow you to continue in my employ. It will, of course, remain top secret as it has all of these years. But I'll be watching, and I'll make my move when the time is right. And you, of course, will very, very gladly cooperate. I mean, you really have no choice. You've seen the power that I wield already. So, you'll get on this plane and you'll fly back to your time travel device in Murgatroyd, and all will continue to be well. I will come calling when I am ready to make my move of world domination.
Coming to a nearby local triple flex theater near you. The most incredible confrontation of monsters to ever reach the movie screen. See the 2,000-year-old rotting corpse mummy return from the dead to combat the most unearthly creature that has ever stalked the earth. See a man turn into a ferocious werewolf and confront a creature from 2,000 years ago in a battle to the death. See the werewolf versus the mummy. In thrilling Dynamo Flex Vision.
Coming to a triple flex theater near you. The most spectacular, sensational battle of monsters to ever blaze across the screen. See the mummy revived from the dead to face off with the most horrendous creature that has ever roamed the earth. See a man transform into a vicious werewolf and confront a creature from 2,000 years ago. See the werewolf versus the mummy.
After escaping the religious fanatics in the year 1659, Flashy the paper doll and wood pulp boy are traversing the undulating time-travel energy field created by Dr. Derrickson, their destination unknown to the two of them until they arrive in a new time period and location.
Woody, look. That's Adolf Hitler and Goebbels and the other Nazi leaders standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. Boy, this time we have really jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire. We escaped a group of witch-hunting religious nuts back in 1659 only to land right smack dab in the middle of Paris, France during the Nazi occupation of World War II. How in the hell are we ever going to get back to our own time? And why did we land here in France during the 1940s? Anyway, we don't have time to figure all of this out right now. We just better hide somewhere and find people who are part of the French resistance. From what little I know about history, French people of this period are very accepting, and in a couple of years the Americans will be arriving to liberate France from the Nazis. I just hope we aren't stuck here too long. Remember where this energy field appeared? Here, Woody. We may have to escape back to it when it reappears at some intermittent point. I just hope one day it will take us back to our own present time.
Flashy. We will remember this spot for future reference. I may not know much about human history, but I seem to recall that during the Second World War, members of the French resistance used to meet in the catacombs, the tunnels, beneath Paris, France. So I strongly suggest that for our own safety we try to find an entrance down into the tunnels. I will sneak out later and find us some suitable clothing that fits with this time period. While this is certainly far from my idea of a French vacation, it obviously beats being burned at the stake back in 1659.
My dear, sweet, sweet children. I want everyone here to know that I'm okay. This is your minister, Dr. Hubert Slakowski, at the Divine Humanity Cathedral. I went through a terrible ordeal the first few days being held captive by that dreadful Murgatroyd serial killer. Finally, he came to his senses and released me, and here I am. I went through grueling interrogation with Lieutenant Skitters. Of course, at no time did I see the Murgatroyd serial killer's face. He never took off his mask. I only heard his voice. And, of course, my daughter Imogene is very, very happy to see me in one piece, as I'm sure all of you are. But, yes, I do not know where I was held captive. I simply know that I was taken prisoner for 3 or 4 days and then released. And I am here and I am healthy. And I just want everyone to know that I'm glad to be back, my dear children. All of you, I want to wish you a very wonderful and blessed evening. Goodbye.
CRZY News Update Bulletin. Hello, this is Hugh Millett's son at CRZY News. As you just heard, Dr. Hubert Slakowski is apparently well and in good health after being released by a captor that he claims was the Murgatroyd serial killer. Dr. Slakowski has declined an interview with CRZY, as he is no doubt exhausted and tired from the ordeal as well as the interview he underwent after his release with lead detective Lieutenant Skitters. And now we turn to Dr. Slokowski's daughter, Imogene, to further update us.
Well,
go
Q,
ahead, Imogene.
I know my father very well, and I am glad he is okay and I am glad he has been released, but I can also tell you that he is lying and holding something back. When I talked to him earlier, there were elements of his account that just didn't add up. I am not sure who was holding my father, or why, but I am convinced it was not the Murgatroyd serial killer. He would not still be alive if it had been the serial killer. That is all that I have to say at this point, but you better believe I do intend to get to the bottom of this one way or another.
Well, Imogene. I'm sure by now you recognize my voice. It's your dear old friend, the Murgatroyd serial killer. I want to give you credit this time. At least you were honest on the air, so maybe there is hope for you. I saw you on CRZY last night, admitting that you thought your father was lying, that perhaps it wasn't me who abducted him. Well, you're absolutely correct. Your dear old daddy was lying. I am not the one who abducted the illustrious Dr. Hubert Slokowski. But I do have something very interesting to enlighten you about, my dear Imogene. That's why I've included in this package that I've sent you a cassette tape that I made as a child to reveal to you the horrible abuse that my brother and I were subjected to by our stepfather and stepmom, who refused when we were growing up to let us know who our real parents were, who our real mother was. I always had my suspicions from things that my stepdad said about who my mom might be, but I had to confirm them. So I have one more little surprise for you, Imogene. I'm sure you're aware the other day when the illustrious Senator Devane was quizzing Dr. Getrick during those Senate hearings into Flashy the Paper Doll. I'm sure you recall that Dr. Getrick vehemently denied on the Les Tonak show that it was Flashy the Paper Doll and the Woodpulp Boy who knocked him unconscious. Well, guess what? Dr. Getrick was telling the truth. It was I who arrived secretly in the lab from the tunnel below. It was I who knocked Dr. Getrick unconscious. Imagine my surprise when I got there and the place was surrounded by the police and the SWAT team looking for Flashy the Paper Doll and Woodpulp Boy. They didn't see me as they snuck out through the tunnel below, nor did they see me knock Dr. Getrick unconscious. But you see, I had to obtain the proof that I needed to find out who my mother really was. See, I knew from things that my stepdad had said that my mother had participated in some DNA experiments years earlier. Well, I knew that DNA test. I knew that the vials of blood that were stored by Dr. Getrick would prove my parentage if, in fact, my theory was correct about who my mom really was. And it was. I was correct, Imogene. It may also surprise you to know that I have a sister. Yes, dear Mom's DNA was used to create Flashy the Paper Doll. And my poor deceased brother's DNA was used to create Woodpulp Boy. Any wonder that Woodpulp Boy is shall we say, somewhat more violent than flashy. So, I suppose I will have to spell it out for you, Imogene. But first, listen to the cassette tape that I've enclosed and look at the vial of blood. You should be able to put two and two together, but if you can't, I will be calling you back, and I will be telling you explicitly who my mother actually is. Goodbye, Imogene.
Gosh, Q. Oh my gosh. Oh my, now, Q. Honestly now, I don't think I can handle this alone. You know I am not the biggest fan of men, but I would really appreciate it if you and Les Tomek would step into my office and listen to this cassette tape that the Murgatroyd serial killer sent.
Imogene, of course I will. Les, you come and join us too. Imogene, we both know you have been through a lot lately, the threats and taunts from this serial killer, the abduction of your father, we understand. Yes, let's go into your office and listen to this cassette
tape. Shut up, you little pisshead. He's just like your twin brother Apronhead, always hiding behind your stepmother's apron. Both of your mistakes. You should never have been born. Your real mother don't want either one of you. She dumped me. I wasn't good enough for her. Just a motorcycle gang member. Her highfalutin illustrious father called me. That's what he said. Of course, it turned out I wasn't either one of you two's real daddy anyway. But she gave you both to me to cover it all up. She didn't want the bad publicity of being pregnant. Your real daddy is a damn clown. Ha ha. He'll get me another beer, pisshead. Now keep quiet while I watch the wrestling, or I'll beat the hell out of both of you, just like I do your stepmom. You'll never amount to anything. Either one of you to know that neither one of you will ever amount to anything. Yes, your mom's DNA was used to create Flashy the Paper Doll. And my poor deceased brother's DNA was used to create Woodpulp Boy.
Q. Oh my God, Les. The serial killer is the son of Judy Vincini. And Apronhead was his brother, and Flashy the Paper Doll is his sister. I am in a state of shock. I think I am going to faint. Oh my God.
Welcome to Trash Talk Radio with Julietta Slidestepper, the show where we trash everything and everybody and you call in with your comments. And we now have a caller on line 1. Line 1,
yes,
go ahead.
Uncle Frank again. I was watching TV the other day and I seen where Senator Devane made a speech at the new paper doll factory. And of course, we didn't get to watch all of it because Suki wanted to watch her soap. We had to flip over to Heart's Desire and all. And I was sitting there reading Murgatroyd Times. You know, there's nothing in there anymore except them columns by Imogene Skowski. And I've seen where her daddy was released. He's back there at the church again. He came on TV and told everybody it was serial killer that kidnapped him. But you know what? That don't make a lot of sense to me. Why did he let him go? It's the first time he's ever let anybody go. I mean, all them women, he killed all of them. Something don't add up. I don't think it was a serial killer that kidnapped Dr. Slakowski. That's just my personal opinion, as they say, but I don't believe it's him. I think he's not coming forward with something. I think he's holding something back. I haven't figured out what it is yet, and I may not ever figure it out, but I believe he's holding something back. And you know what, this skateboarder kid that disappeared, I don't think he's missing. I don't believe he's a victim of the serial killer. I think he just ran away. I think he just ran off. You know, kids do that all the time. He'll turn up in some other town or city or whatever. I don't think he was kidnapped or abducted or anything. I think he just ran off. Now that's what I think. And this is Uncle Frank, and thank you.
Show? Today's guests are the group Feral Stringer and the Yo-Yos with their new hit single When You Left Me
Exciting
Last
new
Night.
Skylab is falling sweepstakes. If you can guess the correct date that Skylab crashes to Earth, we will send you free tickets to be in the studio audience at the late Tomac show. And if you correctly guess what continent of the Earth that Skylab crashes on, we will send you on a cruise ship vacation to that part of the world. Send your name, address and phone number to the Les Tomac Show, care of CRZY.
Vincini Ultra Deluxe Triple Star Face Cream from Vincini Cosmetics. With new ingredient Elastiflux. Elastiflux gently jerks and pulls the outer layer of epidermal skin on your face to make it feel invigorated and fresh and young. The most exciting new skin product developed by face cream scientists at Vincini Cosmetics.
Oh, well, when you left me last night, I went out and I got tried. Oh, if you leave me tonight, I'll go out and I get tight. But you know I'm trying with all of my might. Baby, you know you're out of sight. Baby, you are out.
Oh, well, when you left me last night, I went out and I got tried. Oh, if you leave me tonight, I'll go out and I get tight. But you know I'm trying with all of my might.
Was manned by 3 different 3-man crews for periods of 28, 59, and 84 days, during which many scientific experiments were conducted. Since early 1974, the uninhabited Skylab had been slowly descending. Early in the year, it became apparent that the 77-ton space station would re-enter the atmosphere in the summer. Skillful manipulation of Skylab's small amount of maneuvering capability, combined with good fortune, resulted in debris reaching the surface in the Indian Ocean and in sparsely populated areas of Australia, causing no damage or injuries.
Baby, you are out.